Hi everybody, I'm Patrick. This is Corey and that's Brian. Together we just got playing and we just got done playing Barnyard Roundup by James Hudson. You may know James Hudson from Druid City Games and Druid City Spotlight. We just got done playing his game here at the Cloak and Blaster. Next on Just Got Played. Big Bad Brian, tell us all about your sheep and...
I'll give it a go.
Barnyard Roundup.
Sure, Barnyard Roundup. It's a 2 to 6 player social deduction type game for ages 7 and up, not 7 up. And it's got the theme set of like a farmer's roundup of he's trying to corral all of his animals, but also avoid the crows. Now it's it takes about 10 or 20 minutes to play. Each of the players start off, with a certain number of cards in their hand, and then they each take their turn basically bluffing. They're going to take any number of cards from their hand, and if there's more than one, they have to be matching animals. There's 5 different types of animals. Each one's worth a certain number of points. There's like cows, sheep, goats, pigs, and chickens, I believe. There's also the crow card, which is worth -5 points, and that's the one that you want to avoid or try to get out of your hand. So basically each player takes any number of the cards as long as they match, and they put them face down, and then they slide the cards over to an opponent and they say, these are goats. Now, if the targeted player calls whatever they are, so if they say, yeah, I think they are goats, or no, I think that they're chickens, if they're correct, they get to keep all those animals, put them in their pocket, and they're worth positive points for that player. If, however, they miss the type of animal, then the player who's doing the bluffing gets to score all of those points. There's also a couple of other, and then it just goes round robin. Each player takes, you draw back up to the number of cards that you had in your hand at the end of your turn. And it just goes round robin until all of the cards are gone. At the end of the game, you will determine basically there's a set collection mechanic, like whoever has the most amount of the goats or the most amount of the pigs is going to get bonus points. If you have like a set of all the animals, you're going to get extra bonus points for all of those. Plus each one of the animals themselves are worth a certain number of points as well. To keep it fresh, there are a couple of other token type things that can be played at any time, kind of like instants. There's a robber, which is kind of like the go fish mechanic, I believe, where you could say like, hey Patrick, give me all of your chickens. And you could throw that out there, and if he has any chickens, he's got to give them all to me. If he doesn't have any, he can actually swap me or slide me a whole bunch of crows if he wants. There's also another, there's the Scarecrow, which if you play that card, then essentially that'll wipe off like 3 of the crows that you've accumulated, which really helps you out. And then those crows that fly away from your farm go to your neighbors. So it becomes their plague on their corn. And then the other type of thing is called an excuse me. It's basically like an interrupt. So if I'm bluffing towards Patrick and I say, Patrick, these are 6, or maybe not 6 goats, but here's 2 goats. And Corey all of a sudden says, no, they're crows. He can play the excuse me token, take over, and then either stick me with the crows or take the points if he happens to guess whatever type of animal it is. With that, Patrick, what would you say is your favorite thing about Barnyard Roundup?
Solid mechanics, man. The game just really does work well. I thought maybe there could be some tweaking with the amount, the amount of different kinds of cards with higher values, but as it works right now, it's just very solid game, works well. Seems the gears just mesh. That's just what I like about it. It just works well. Corey, if you had to pick one thing.
One thing I liked about the game, I liked a lot of things about this game. I just had so much fun trying to accumulate the 10-point cards. I don't know, this game is super fun. I can't wait for it to come on Kickstarter so I can get my own copy. I really like everything about this game.
Okay. The thing that I like best about the game is it lends itself, because of even though it's a kid's game, it does lend itself to some adult humor that you can interject into the game if everyone at the table is willing to do so, due to the animal selections, the references, and all kinds of
it's not overt though.
Farming and barnyard terminology. So you can have even though there's nothing overt or intentionally done that way, I think it does lend itself to some nice home ruling or home theming or something like that, I guess. But anyways, Patrick, what would you say is the thing that you liked least about the Barnyard Roundup?
I consider myself a serious gamer, for whatever that's worth. I'm not a great gamer, but I consider myself a serious one. So when I sit down to a game like this with this kind of artwork, and I think, oh, this is kind of a kids themed game, it's kid oriented, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like a great mind bender, bluffing game. I really liked it, but it is kind of has that kid theme towards it. So I guess that's going to be the thing I say is it seems child oriented. Corey, if you had to pick one thing.
I can agree there with that. I really feel like the theme could have been done more towards an older crowd, but I still enjoy it, especially about the adult part of the humor. The only thing I really didn't like about the game, I would have to say, is more like the name. But other than that, it's a great game.
If I had to pick one thing that I didn't like about the game, I would have to say it says it's for ages 7 and up. I find hard-pressed for most 7-year-olds that I know that would really be able to grasp this game and run with it. I mean, sure, it's got the cute animals and stuff like that, so I think like they would be able to play it. I don't think that they would fully be able to grasp the social deduction aspects in it, the card counting, the set collection, and all that. But I guess that's kind of tempered with, you know, even though it's for 7 and up, I think older people are going to find a lot more enjoyable stuff about this game. There is a lot more strategy and math and all that in the game. But I don't know if necessarily 7-year-olds would get the full, you know, be able to fully realize the game. So that's what I would have to say.
Corey also mentioned you may not want to be teaching kids how to steal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. In general, bluffing
yeah,
and
lying.
Probably not.
You're teaching your children how to steal and to lie.
And to lie to your parents and making them better. It's like, you know, training. Yeah. So. Anyways, Barnyard Roundup is coming to Kickstarter very, 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 very soon. So make sure you jump over there and wrangle up 1 or 2 copies.
I'm Patrick. This is Corey, and that's Brian. Together we just got played. Thank you very much for watching. Guys, this is a kid's game.
That's why I said chicken.
The whole time you didn't say chicken. At least you said that this time.
That's my favorite card in this game is the chicken.
You had a giant hand. I've never seen that much cock in a hand before. It's a huge.
It's a kid's game.
That's a huge amount of cock.
You can't say that.
At least I didn't say anything about Brian's love of sheep. Yeah. My love of goats.
Ew.
I'm more of a cow man myself.
You like big butts and a cat.
What kind of production is this?